What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Refill. I'm your host, Ron Daniel. Listen, tonight, man, we got another great show. We got another great podcast for y'all, man. Episode 47. And man, we had some technical difficulties. Something happened, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. When you're doing things, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. When you're doing things, we're dealing with computers and electronics and all that stuff, and if something happened, don't quit, don't give up, just stop, reset, start over and do it again. And so we had a small technical issue. I don't know what happened, to be honest with you. We just couldn't hear nothing. And so we fixed it. We hope y'all can hear us now. So we're going to get into the show, man. We're going to get into this thing. Listen, man, episode 47, we glad y'all came back, man, rocking out with us, man, for this new episode. Listen, before we get started, if this your first time coming on, man, this is a podcast dedicated to the Christian hip hop artists in the Christian hip hop space global wide. We broadcast live from the Dirty South, and I'm your host, Ron Daniel, man. We've been doing this for a while. Listen, if you've been rocking with us, you already know how we come. But if this your first time tuning in, this is what we do, man. This is a podcast dedicated again to the Christian hip hop artists, the promoters, the DJs, the influencers, and everybody who make Christian hip-hop move, shake, rattle, roll global wide in the United States and beyond. So I just want to get that out the way. Another thing too, man, listen, make sure to like, share, and comment, man. Listen, if you like what we're doing and if you like what we've been doing the past 46 shows, now we're at show 47, the last 46 shows, if you like what we're doing, man, like, share, and comment, man, because the likes, the shares, the comments, it help us build this platform so we can continue to create great content for everybody who looking at our podcast, man. We appreciate y'all for jumping on. Once again, thanks for coming on, checking out what we're doing. Also, if you wanna donate financially, you'll see some information moving at the bottom that has if you want to donate through Cash App, VENMO, PayPal, man. Soon we'll have Zeal, we'll have Squarespace once the website launch on Monday, July 26. That's when we launching it. We got the website launch date. Last week we was on briefly talking about the updates that we're doing here in the studio. We're updating a lot of hardware, a lot of software. We're trying to make a great podcast. We're building a great, what I believe is a great media space, not just for Christian hip hop artists, but just for music in general and the music space in general. We're building a great media company, and so we had to stop some things, update some things, take some old stuff out, put some new stuff in. But financially, if you want to donate, you can donate through Cash App. You see some information moving at the bottom of the screen. Cash App, PayPal, VENMO, and starting Monday, our brand new website will be launched Monday. We will have all 47 shows. Well, tomorrow night we'll make 48 shows, but we have 48 shows on the website starting Monday, July 26th. We have all the episodes, all the podcasts, a lot of artist features. There's a lot of artists been featured on the podcast. So we have everyone on, all the shows we've ever done, all the episodes will be on the website starting Monday. It's an interactive website. You guys can go on, check it out. You can donate on the page. You can share, you can comment, you can follow us on all the social media. It'll have all that information on the page. And so man, we just building, growing, grinding, and trying to figure this thing out. So we're gonna get into the show, man. We're gonna hold y'all up. I'm not gonna stay on too long, but tonight I got 5 tips for pastors that's looking to grow their church ministry. Now, I've been in the Christian hip hop space for about 15 to 16 years. So I've been in it for a long time, probably longer than that, but I've been in it, I say professionally, 15, 16 years. And I've spoke with, I've had countless meetings and phone calls and text messages and just face-to-face conversations with pastors and youth pastors. And one of the main issues that they have is they say, look, they always tell me, Ron Day, we trying to keep the youth engaged and coming to church. You know, their parents dropping them off, And now with everybody got smartphones in their hands, now the young cats got the smartphones in their hands. They ain't even listen to the church messages no more. They looking at what's on their phone. They texting their partners talking about what we gonna do when this church stuff over. So where tonight's podcast is dedicated to the church pastors, the youth leaders, and in various churches, just wherever you have your church. We're going to give you some tips tonight that can help you become a better promoter, and how to use your facility, your church facility, to help the artists out, and to create just a chain and a revolving door for artists just to come in and to help grow your youth ministry. Because listen, everybody and they mama listen to rap music. Everybody and they mama and they mama and they mamas. Rap run the show global wide. So we can't be naive thinking, oh well, that's just rap music, and listen, we know when we hear the word rap, a lot of church people cringe and be like, I don't know, I don't want that in here. But we're talking about Christian hip hop. And what Christian hip hop and gospel rap does is it's supposed to be the offset. It's supposed to help edify people and not dumb down or deglorify or glorify the wrong things. Let me say that, because when we listen to rap now, everything on Spotify, Sirius Radio, everything we listen to rap music on now, YouTube channels. A lot of rap music today is glorifying death, glorifying killing, shooting, robbing. How much we can twerk, drink, smoke, pop pills, everything you could think of, hustle and just hustle, kill somebody with a Draco and just we gonna hustle till we just stack our money to the ceiling. We all heard the music, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking the cats who make it. That's not my thing. I'm not the judge, I'm not the judge and the jury on that, but I hear what everybody else hear. So what gospel rap come in at is we supposed to offset. We're supposed to be the offset of the rap culture. And so a lot of youth leaders and pastors, they got, young cats coming to church. And not just the young cats, but people that just like rap in general. Because once people come into a church setting, let's say they get saved, they come into a church setting, they're not going to get rap out their system overnight. It's a process, you know what I'm saying? But people coming to, they say, hey, I need to start going to church. I need to get saved, delivered, and go through that whole thing. And then they come in church, and then they're like, okay, now you got me here listening to some music. It's foreign to me. A lot of the quartet singles. I'm just using it for an example. I'm not knocking the quartet singles, but I'm like, if you got somebody that's been listening to rap all their life, and now you bring them into a church setting, and you saying, hey, now you need to listen to the Southern Jubilees. They ain't listening to that. And so what you're going to do is just slowly drive them out of the church setting back into the streets, back into the world. So what I have tonight is just 5 tips that I believe, just from experience and just having conversations with youth pastors, that you all can use, that can help you grow your church ministry, that can help you keep your youth involved. And not just your youth, but people that like rap music in general. Because a lot of people that I've spoken to or spoke with over the years, they's like, look, I go to church, but when I sit in church, man, that music ain't slamming. That music ain't hitting on nothing. It ain't slapping. It don't sound good. I ain't coming into church to tap no tambourines and sing in the choir. That's just what it is, But a lot of youth, a lot of pastors try to force that on the new converts to try to get them, quote unquote, involved with church. Just get involved, put a tambourine in his hand, and he gonna like church. I'm like, that joker just came from a world of shooting everybody. He ain't finna slap no tambourine. That's just keeping it real. So tonight, I got 5 tips. I'm not gonna hold y'all up, man, but I'm gonna give y'all these 5 tips. They're not in no particular order. Some of them are, some of them not. But they gonna help you, the church leader, the church pastor, better equip yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because don't be naive thinking, oh, my church leader, my church members, they not listen to rap music. I'm like, that's a lie. As soon as they get out your church setting, they go sit in the car. They got their smartphone. They plug up. They put them earpiece on, and they listen to whatever. Da Baby, Lil Baby, Da Baby, whoever. After all the babies, all the babies. Whatever they rapping, they listen to it, and if they listen to it, they start to emulate it. You see what I'm saying? Even if they not from a street culture, even if their background is not drugs and gangs and all that stuff, they start to emulate what they hear. So what I'm gonna give you tonight is 5 solid tips that's gonna help you grow your youth ministry. That's gonna help people that's in your church that like rap music, keep them involved and thinking about the Lord with Christian hip-hop music. Because a lot of people think, oh, man, it's Christian hip-hop music, man. Ain't nobody listen to no rap music talking about Jesus or God. I'm like, it's more than that. You know, a lot of gospel rap music, the source is God and Jesus, who we should talk about. But a lot of gospel rap music, a lot of Christian hip-hop music don't necessarily just talk about God and Jesus through every song. I've heard songs where cats talking about going to school, get married, saving your money and buying a house, just do better in life. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, hey, mask up, get the Draco, kick down the door at the bank, and we just gonna rob everybody for $15,000 and we gonna go to jail, sitting there for a couple of years, do a bid, get out. And I got some street cred because I done went to jail for 5 years. And I done missed 5 years. You know, they don't never tell you about the other side of the game. But I don't want to talk about that tonight. But we'll never hear songs talking about how it is when you get inside, how it really is. So we'll talk about that another time. I'd rather bring somebody on who been there and done that. You know what I'm saying? They did that time. They can better discuss that. So we'll do that maybe in one of the few podcasts coming up. But listen, man, tip number 1. Here's the first tip for you. What you want to do is you want to pray. Start off praying and investigate the artists you want to bring into your church. And what I mean is, the way social media is set up, you can just go on any social media page, any social media link, and just check out these artists. Check out their lifestyle. Check out what they're doing and see if it fit what you're doing at your church. You see what I'm saying? Now, here's another thing, too. These cats ain't coming to y'all church with suits and ties on and shiny shoes, rapping with a suit and tie on. I never rapped in a suit and a tie. The closest I ever rapped in was a tuxedo, but it was fresh. We had on fitted hats, J's, but it was clean. It was an award show. They said, man, that dude up there rapping with a cold tuxedo on and a fresh pair of J's I ain't never seen. So I've done that, but I've never rapped in a suit and tie. That just ain't my thing. So you have to remember that the artists you bringing in your church, they're not coming in with suits and ties on. Let them be themselves because they represent the rap culture. But they saved. They living for Jesus, but they represent rap culture. And so the youth and the youth in your church and the people that like rap music, they can identify with that. When they see somebody come in, they say, "Oh man, that dude, he rapping about the Lord. I like that. I can get down with that, man. What's your social media? Where your music links at, man? I need that in my life so I can think about living for the Lord instead of living for the streets and living out here playing in the streets and taking penitentiary chances every day." So that's one tip. Pray. Tip number 1, pray and investigate the artist. Meaning, ask the Lord, like, how should I put a Christian hip hop concert together? I've been putting rap concerts together for years. They're easy to do because I'm in it. But for some people, they don't know how to do it. And so pray and ask the Lord how to structure it. And then investigate the artist. All you got to do is go to their Instagram, YouTube channel, Facebook, Twitter, and just scroll and just check it out. And if they match what you're trying to do, bring them in. If not, find somebody else. Pray and ask the Lord to lead you. Tip number 2. You want to bring in Christian hip hop because it helps your youth stay focused on the Lord. You see what I'm saying? And it help people that like rap anyway. There are people in your church, they not necessarily, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. They may be 35, 40, 45 years old. They like rap music. People that are like really 55, 60 and under grew up in hip-hop culture. Grew up in it. Grew up seeing, rap and hip-hop and the whole culture, the music, everything. So they grew up in it. You see what I'm saying? So you can't say, well, now you didn't get saved. You better stop thinking about that. You can't do that. You can't push that out of somebody. Just bring in something that will edify their soul, edify their mind, uplift them. They say, okay, I'm not listening to the Baby, the Tupacs, the Snoop Dogs no more. And I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking the babies, little babies, the babies, all the babies. I'm not knocking those cats. I don't know those cats. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying I see what y'all see too. And I hear what y'all hear too. So I see the same thing. I know what they're saying. And their messages are pretty much the same. So what I'm saying is don't be so quick to try to preach and get that rap out your system. Don't do that. Bring in the artists. The second tip is you want to help your youth and people that like rap music. There are people that sitting in your church, they love rap music because they grew up in it. And you trying to push it out of them. Well, all you gotta do is bring Christian hip hop artists in to help offset what they was used to listening to. Listen. When you start going to church, and I'm speaking from experience, when you start going to church and you sitting in a church setting and you come from playing in the streets a little or a lot, you see what I'm saying? But you coming into a church setting, now you trying to figure out who is God, who is this Jesus they talking about, who is this Lord they talking about? Why I gotta live like that? Why I say thou shalt not steal and thou shalt not kill? Now you trying to teach people to live a whole nother way. They have to live acceptable before God. But one of the things that I've seen over the years that I gotta say that I've seen with the youth leaders and pastors is a lot of them try to play God and try to say, well, what's holy, what's not holy, what's godly, what's not godly. No, it's something like Christian hip hop is glorifying God through the vehicle of rap. Man, let it roll. Let that thing roll. Would you rather for a Christian hip hop artist to be out there coming to church on Sunday, but then Monday through Saturday they talking about killing everybody? They talking about popping pills and I pulled up with the Draco and ski skirt and shot everybody. No. So if you have Christian rap artists in your church, support them, create a concert just for them, and then you could raise money, raise an offering. You ain't got to give them the whole offering. Be like, hey, we raised the offering, and we're going to give you $500 to put towards making a concert for you and your artistry. And now you supporting the gift that's in them. Because rap is part of music. Music is a gift. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to share this with you. When I first started with the whole gospel rap Christian hip-hop thing, it wasn't really supported. The church I was going to at the time, they didn't support it. They really didn't. They was like, man, what is this? What is you up there doing all this and rapping and what's all that? They didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? But now they get it, but they didn't get it then. And so, but if you have people in your church that rap, get behind them and support them, not just in prayer, but with the money too, financially. Give them some money, because they're going to need money to move around, so help them out. Here's another thing. Here's tip number 3. You got the facility, being in the church, you got the facility. Use your facility as the entertainment center. Now, what I'm saying is, you have a church, so you don't have to go out and necessarily rent out, like in my city, we have the State House Convention Center. I believe every city has a state house like a convention center. When I was doing the gospel rap conferences, I would rent out a room in the State House Convention Center. And I was the only cat coming in there telling the event people there that helped me put it together. I was the only one coming in saying, hey, you know, I'm bringing a rap show. I'm bringing a rap concert at a conference, but it's gospel rap. And they was like, man, what is this? He talking about some gospel rap. What's that? So if you have a church already set up with sound, you know, you got chairs, sound, microphones, everything, you know, you already have the facility. So use the facility, use your church as an event center for the artists. Now, once you find the artists, you talk to them, you bring them in, you know, you got your church set up for the concert. Here's another tip as far as sound. Let me help you out with sound. Either A, go rent some sound. You don't need a lot of speakers. You don't need a bunch of lights. You know what I'm saying? Just get you about, you know, a couple of 15-inch, 18-inch speakers. That's all you need, just two of them. Get your two 18-inch speakers and a cordless mic. That's really all you need. Now, if you just want to add some lights just for effects, you can do that. You know, I've done that. I've done all that. I had the lights. Normally, when I did concerts, I would rent out 4 15-inch speakers. And it had that room booming and loud. You know, rap music is loud. So let the youth, let the people in your church that like rap enjoy, create an experience with your church that they will enjoy, that they will like, that they will leave and they say, you know what, this is why I like coming to this church, because they're innovative. Do some innovative things. They innovative. They brought in gospel rappers. They brought in a bunch of gospel rappers, and they rapped all night long from 7 to 11 o'clock at night. You know, normally, let me say this. Normally, gospel rap concerts start early. They don't start, typically, they don't start late. Now, I've been rapping for a long time, and I can say on average, majority of the shows I've been to, they generally start at 7, 8 o'clock. You know, especially if it's in a church setting. If it's outside a church setting, I've rapped at events where, you know, I might run up on stage at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta just grind it out, wait your turn, get up there, blow them boys out with what you get, and get on down. So the third tip again, you have the church facility. Use your church facility as an event center. You see what I'm saying? So you have somewhere that the artist can come and be inviting, be friendly to the artists. You know what I'm saying? That's leading to my next tip. You got the event facility, which is your church. Go rent some sound. If your sound is not good, do not go up there. You know, a lot of people still rap with CDs in their hand. They still use CDs as the music. Some people, I'm more on USBs now. You know, if somebody say, hey, you know, Ron Daniel, you hear, what's your preferred method to play your tracks? I just give them a USB chip. I don't plug in my phone. Some people use their phone. They use their smartphone, which I think is crazy because I seen people rap with their phone plugged into the system and then their phone start ringing. And they're like, Joko, what is this? A call center? It's a call center now. So I come with a USB. I keep a CD as backup if they have a CD player, but generally it's USB. And so, again, if you don't have adequate sound, then go out and rent you like 2 15-inch speakers or 2 18-inch speakers, a couple of cordless mics, and you ready to roll. That's all you need to have a good sound in your church, you know, for a rap concert because it's loud. The next tip I got for you, tip number 4, and we're going to get ready to get off this thing. Tip number 4, pay the artist that's coming. Raise an offer. If you don't have the money as far as budget-wise, raise an offering. If you raise an offering of $500, $1,000, $2,000, pay the artist. The artists will appreciate that and have you in high regard because they're going to be thinking like, hey, Pastor so-and-so, Pastor Thomas, brought me down 5 hours away and put $700 in my hand, put $1,000 in my hand, put $500 in my hand. Listen, when I rap, I do charge. I've been charging for years, and so for me, a lot of youth pastors and pastors, if I'm going to a church setting, they read our contract and they say, hey, we see how much you charge. We're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay your deposit. They'll send it through Cash App. My phone ring, boop, boop, boop. I get that Cash App and I say, okay, we ready to roll. Put them down on the schedule. And then when we get there, before we go on stage, they pay our money before we even go on stage. I count it right there. If it's cash, I count it right there in their face. I make sure it better not be $1 short. I'm like, hey, okay, we good. Let's go. And so if I got people with me, I pay them right there on the spot. Then I go back to my office, document everything for taxes and go on. But pay the artists and make your church a consistent tour stop for the artists. The artists will appreciate you for that. Use your church as a tour stop. So if you live in Chicago and your church is Second Baptist whatever church, and you pay that artist, and then let them know, hey, you can always come here to perform whenever you in Chicago, or whenever you in Little Rock, or whenever you in Memphis, or whenever you in backyard Mississippi somewhere, Jackson, Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, New Orleans, San Diego, wherever. Make your church a consistent tour stop for that artist. Now here's the last tip. And I'm gonna be done. You want to partner, if you want to make your events bigger, right? You want to partner with other churches to make your events bigger. Partner with other churches. See what I'm saying? Let me give you an example of what happened with me a long time ago and early on in my rap career. I'm an OG vet now, but early on in my rap career, I remember a church came together, and he said, "Look, we gonna do this event, but we bring it on 2 other churches." And so it was probably about 300 people in the room, like it was a small city. But he said, man, I came to your event in your city. I saw how y'all got down. I want to bring you down. How much you charge? He said, and we're going to bring together 2 other churches. So it's going to be 3 churches combined that's putting this event together. And I didn't know what to expect. When I walked in the room, it was like 300, maybe 350. It might have been 400 folks. It was packed. That's all I remember. It was packed. And so, but I appreciate him because he did that. He thought enough of us as artists to pay us. The sound was good. The interaction with the crowd was excellent. Everybody stayed to the end because we were just in there getting down and giving it to them. And so, and they stayed to the end. But for church pastors just listen to this, partner with other churches and make a big event. You know what I'm saying? Make a big event. If there's a tour coming through the city, raise your hand and be like, hey, my church would be the event stop or the tour stop for this tour that's coming through my city, wherever you live. Let people know, hey man, my church or I have a facility that y'all can use, and we sit 1,000 people or 2,000 people or 3,000 people, however many people, and y'all can use it anytime you come in the city. The artists will appreciate that. And so just make sure that when you partner with other churches, that also that your business game is together, because when there's money involved, you want to make sure that whoever walking in the door, paying at the door, that y'all have an understanding how y'all gonna split the proceeds. Because I seen a lot of churches come together and do things, and then when the money come into play, they don't do that no more. And so they end that and they be like, it was a one-time thing. They say, hey man, we ain't doing that no more. So I'm going to go back over these 5 tips, man. I'm going to jump off this thing, man. I appreciate y'all for staying on. Again, if you just not tuned in, this The Refill. This is The Refill podcast. I'm your host, Ron Daniel. And, man, I'm glad you tuned in. Listen, go 5 tips. I'm going to go over these one more time, and then we're going to jump off this thing. Tip number 1 is pray and investigate the artists. Meaning go on their social media and check them out. Like, you got to do your homework with these artists, because a lot of artists are saying, oh, I'm gospel rapping. These boys, a lot of them ain't doing that. Trust me. So investigate the artists. Tip number 2, you want to use Christian hip-hop, gospel rap, as a way to offset the rap they listening to anyway. Because you can't be naive thinking that people in your church are not listening to rap. And they are listening to rap. As soon as they get in their car, they bumping. They driving off your church parking lot bumping. Cutting the speakers up loud like, man, I'm finna go get me something to eat. And I'm finna call up Lil Baby, Dub Baby, Future, Drake, whoever on that touch screen, that flat screen receiver. That's on that however they getting their music, Bluetooth or Sirius Radio or Spotify, however they getting it, they bumping. Tip number 3, make sure you got a good facility with good sound. Tip number 4, make sure you pay the artists and make your church a consistent tour stop for the artists. So wherever the artists go, they can put down. For the artists that's about their business, they should put down. Like if I went to Syracuse, New York, at this church, they cool people. If I went to Buffalo, New York, if I went to Chicago, Philadelphia, Memphis, Nashville, Little Rock, Dallas, Houston, they can put down tour stops. That's a tour route. I just gave y'all a tour right there. That's a tour map. So you want to make sure, that's tip number 4, you want to make sure you pay the artists and make your church a consistent tour stop. And then the last tip is to make your events bigger, partner with other churches with the same like mind, and make sure that the money, when y'all talk about money, make sure that your business game is good, and make sure you trying to figure out how much it's gonna cost to advertise it, what's the budget, how much we gonna make on the door coming in, if anybody want to sponsor, how much the sponsorship money, you gotta think about all that stuff. So those are my 5 tips, man. I hope y'all take this in. I hope y'all share this with the other church leaders that in your circle. You want to make sure share this with people, because there are youth leaders and pastors that are looking to do events in their church, and some of them are saying, you know what, we doing the same old events, and we tired of doing the same old events, and the audience, the youth and the people that like rap, they're not engaged in, they may not be engaged in quartet music, or y'all bring a big choir down, or you got somebody singing a whole bunch of church songs. They may not be engaged in that. They may not like that. But I promise, if you bring that gospel rap through the door, it'll change your game up. It'll change everything up. So, again, man, this is episode 47 of The Refill. I'm your host, Ron Daniel. Be sure to tune in next week, man. We got another great show coming up, man. We're working on future shows right now. We're working on shows from now all the way to September, October right now. So we're gonna give y'all some information on that. But remember to tune in, man. Listen, if you want to book me for anything, you can. Just look at the bottom, you'll see the email. Also follow me on social media. All the social media outlets y'all on. I'm on too. At Ron Daniel Go. That's Go at the end of Ron Daniel. That's Ron Daniel Go. You can find me on all social media. And man, we're gonna see y'all next time, man. We're gonna give y'all that double chunk like we do every week, and we're gonna holler at y'all next week.